Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The morning light spilled gently across the kitchen, catching the edges of the coffee mugs Kelly had set out but forgotten to fill. The house was unusually quiet. No laughter echoing down the hallway, no familiar hum of the television warming up for the day. Silence had become their newest, uninvited guest. Mark sat at the table, hands folded, staring at nothing in particular. He looked strong, the way he always had, steady shoulders, calm eyes, but something invisible had shifted. Kelly noticed it in the way he breathed, carefully, as if each breath required permission. "Do you want tea instead?" she asked, her voice brighter than she felt. He smiled, the kind of smile meant to protect. "I'm okay," he said. And that was the problem. He said it the same way he'd been saying it for weeks. The doctor's words still echoed in Kelly's mind. Not life-ending, not simple either. A sentence balanced on a thin wire of uncertainty. The kind that doesn't knock you down all at once, but keeps you standing, waiting for the fall. Later that day, Kelly sat under studio lights that felt harsher than usual. The familiar set, the friendly faces, it all felt like a memory from another life. When the cameras rolled, she did what she had always done. She showed up, she smiled, she joked, but something inside her trembled. "I want to share something," she said, her voice wavering just enough for the room to notice. The audience leaned in. This wasn't scripted. "For years, I've talked about balance, work, family, love," Kelly continued. "But nothing prepares you for the moment when the person who has always been your balance suddenly needs you to be theirs." She paused. The silence was loud. "Mark has been dealing with a health challenge," she said carefully. "No details, no drama, just truth. And watching someone you love carry pain quietly, it changes you." Her eyes filled, and this time she didn't look away. "The hardest part," Kelly confessed, "is realizing how much you've leaned on their strength without ever asking how heavy it was for them to carry." At home that evening, Mark watched the clip on his phone, stopping it just before the tears fell. He didn't like seeing her cry, especially not because of him. When Kelly walked into the room, he opened his arms and she collapsed into them, the day finally catching up with her. "I didn't plan to say it," she whispered. "I know," he replied softly, "but I'm glad you did." They sat together on the couch, the weight of the unknown resting between them. The future felt fragile, like glass, but it was still there. "I'm scared," Kelly admitted, her voice breaking, not of what might happen, but of pretending everything is fine when it isn't. Mark took her hand, squeezing it gently. "Then let's not pretend." That night they talked the way people do when honesty becomes more important than comfort, about fear, about aging, about the quiet grief of realizing that even love can't fix everything, but it can stay. Days passed. Some were good, some were heavy. Mark learned to rest without guilt. Kelly learned that strength didn't always look like smiling through pain. Sometimes it looked like telling the truth, even when your voice shakes. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the room in gold, Kelly rested her head on Mark's shoulder. "No matter what, we face it together," she said. Mark smiled, this time without trying to protect anyone. "That's all I've ever needed." The heartbreak wasn't in the illness. It wasn't even in the uncertainty. It was in the realization that love doesn't promise forever. It promises now. And sometimes now is the bravest place to stand.